Okay, what's going on? I know I got Dragon here. Hey, Dragon, let me know if you can hear me all right. I've got a fan right off camera here because there's no air moving in this room whatsoever. Oh, Rocco's here. Forest and Streams. Look what I'm drinking. Wheat beer. Adam Z's here. Boom. Any fires by your house? Happy Trails is here. What's going on? Gonna talk about your video today. If people haven't seen it. Skinny G Panda is here. It's good. Thanks, Dragon. Yeah, I know with the fan, and I'm on the laptop again. This week, I am completely avoiding the OBS software. I'm just using the Google Hangouts on Air. I don't know what's going on with third-party encoders and YouTube Live, but it's just been a disaster the past few weeks, so didn't want to deal with it today. So, see, Adam Z says, a girl caught herself on fire yesterday right up the road. Happy 4th of July in America. Yeah, we had no fires, or I don't think anybody blew any limbs off or caught on fire around me. It was, there was a lot of fireworks out there. It was kind of cool. Right across the street, there's a parking lot, and there was a bunch of people from the neighborhood over there, and they had a pretty decent display going on. Hike with Mike is here. What's going on, Mike? You're here early. Yeah, Happy Charles. I've used Google Hangouts. I thought originally I would be doing more with like maybe having a camera facing outside when in the winter where you had storms and stuff like that, and you kind of need the OBS software for that. But I can screen share with Google Hangouts, and it seems to work pretty smoothly. So that's what I'm going to use, at least until I can figure out what's going on with the other one. Yeah, so they I'm guessing she caught herself on fire with fireworks. Yeah, I don't know how you. Must have been one heck of a firework. So yeah, today I've got. Is it live? Is it live yet? Yes, Mike. If you can hear me, Hike with Mike. We are live. I got a. This is the wheat beer. The what's it called not Munsters, Munstons, Muellers, Muttons, something like that. Rose of Russell's here. What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. Happy Trails did have a good 4th of July. I almost got up early and went kayaking, but realized I was up the night before doing some sunset photos, which I've been posting on Instagram. So I got up and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just shut the alarm off, went back to sleep. Then I thought about maybe going hiking, or Dragon just got his stand-up paddleboard. He had reached out to me about maybe going up to State Park and trying it out, but then we got rain, so I didn't really do anything, but it was nice and quiet and got to see some fireworks from home. I had a nice one. How was everybody else's 4th? Adam Z updated to Vegas Studio 15 Platinum with the 4th of July sale. I'm having horrible lag issues in preview mode. I haven't encountered that, but I dropped mine all the way down to what's it called? Like draft half or draft quarter. I don't know what kind of memory you have in your computer. I used to get lagging with 14 on this computer. This is a computer I edit on. So I upgraded the RAM to whatever it could hold, 16 gigabytes, I think. And that took care of that problem. Ooh, excuse me. Rosa Russell's working. Yeah. Thank you. I've got all those photos I put up of the sunset. Actually, most of the photos I put up are with my phone, with this thing, my Pixel 2. It takes really good photos. I had my DSLR with me for the sunset shoot, but they didn't turn out as good. I don't use as much. I'm sure if I really tried with it, I could get better shots. But I forgot to take my tripod shoe, and so I was just hand shooting with the camera, and I pulled the phone out and did a lot of those shots with that. Adam Z says she tried lighting a fire with gas. It was on the news. They had a life lighter. Oh my God, Chopper landed near my house. yeah, I don't really watch the news, and that is kind of the reason why. But oh my God, I hope she's okay. Never anybody watching. If you're watching this live, or you're watching this after fact, do not light a fire with gas. It's not the gas that lights; it's the fumes. And if you're standing in a cloud of fumes, you're going up in flames. I would like to see the video now. All right, cool. Dragon had a lazy day on the 4th to recoup from the trip. Grab some pizza and beer. Yeah, I've been dying to see what you got up there in Acadia. I love Maine. I love it up there. So I know you guys had a great time. Hap Trails made barbecue for the 4th and sat around. That's always a good time. You know, with the as crazy as people can get on holidays on the roads, just sounds like a good time just to hang out with family, friends, and take it easy. So I got some things to talk about today, which is kind of rare. Today was an interesting day. So I've got, you've been busy. Yeah, that's one of the things I want to talk about on here. Hey, Triumph is here. What's going on, Brandon? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you had a great 4th of July as well. Now, Brandon, close your eyes because I know you don't want to see these. But I got the new hike, hang, repeat shirts for Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. And I just did another shirt too with this like triangle style hammock. And it's just the hammock. It has the Hemlock Mountain Outdoors logo on it here, and it just says hang on. I got that one too. But so I got these. I like this design. I like this. I actually really like the hammock design. I thought that turned out pretty cool. Just real simple. And so today I was working on getting these shirts and the new one up on the Hemlock Mountain Outdoors site, which I already had this one on there, but the hang on shirt I didn't. And then I added these to my Zitzelman.com page too, just in case everybody goes there. I got the links there. So I was getting all that information, and I was going back and forth to Amazon. All of a sudden, I saw another version of this shirt pop up from someone else. I've had this up for 4 days. Someone stole the design already. So I got an infringement case against them with Amazon. I'm waiting to see what happens with that. If they sold any shirts, I'm going to want the money for it because it's got my business logo on it. They can't do that. I mean, if they want to use the words hike, hang, repeat, I mean, that's just words. But to use my actual Hemlock Mountain Outdoors logo on just take this design and use it for themselves, no, that's not going to happen. So. Yeah, pretty awful. I'm not happy about it. I mean, what can you do? It's not the first time I had things like that happen. When I used to do, back in the day, I used to do some web programming for another site that I ran. I used to own and operate my own search engine before Google got big. And this is back in the days of web TV, if you guys remember that. It was like a set-top box that gave you internet. And there was... you could basically get a hold of the coding that ran their IRC, their chat messaging system, and then you could make your own changes to it. So I had a bunch of people had sites that you could make your own, add your own like quick buttons, so you could say things. And they were all kind of based. It was all open source. So if somebody wanted to update the code, that's what open source is about. But you always give the person who you got your information from credit in your coding. It's just how you do it. So it turns out that somebody was taking my my script and just putting on their website and then putting their name on it and changing their name and everything, but not giving credit to me or anybody else who had worked on it before me. I called the guy out on it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that." So I went in, I updated my script, and I put a code in there that if the script didn't come from my page, and it was pretty obvious in the script, so anybody that was going in and editing it would have seen it because it was all kind of coded out. And but if the script didn't originate from my page, every time it didn't matter what you put in there as a macro, it would always say that this guy's name stole this script, and if you want the real script to go up to my site. He got pretty mad about that, but he didn't know how to code. So I told him all he's got to do is just leave the credit to the people who do the actual work. And then I did another version after that I made it impossible for anybody to steal. If anybody wanted the code, they could reach out to me, and I'd give it to them and help them with it, but I wouldn't let them just take it. And he got pretty mad about that. So it's not the first time I've had that happen, but it always sucks. Dragon says scum. Yeah, I've got some choice words for this, whoever this is. Hike with Mike. I hate bottom feeders. Just live off and steal off other people. Yeah. I mean, I didn't spend like weeks on this design. I had the basic, like the hike hang. I think originally I had it as like hike, camp, repeat or something like that. And I was going to do it for the Kurtz at Something Outdoors channel. And I was out for a walk the other day, and I just kind of had the idea of doing everything in like a triangular form. And I kind of saw that hammock logo first in my head, and I came home, I sketched it all out, and then I did it on the computer. So it didn't take me a long time, but still, it's just the purpose of it. Somebody liked it, reach out. I'll work with people, but that's just taking stuff. Triumph. That's what you got, putting your stuff online for everyone to see. Joe Robinet is being hacked so bad with his shirt design, they had to hire lawyers and pay big bucks. Yeah, I mean, it happens online, Brandon. Like I said, not new to it, but I mean, at least change the design. Take my business logo out of it, something. I mean, that's just blatant theft is just horrible. So Joe Harton's here. I'm late, was taking out the trash and realized it must be Thursday. Hey, no problem. Just start it. It's all good. Printing, Triumph screen printing, it is a danger. Yeah, Happy Trails. Anything you do online. I put photos up. People can take those photos. Instagram, anything. They could take anything. I mean, copyrights and there is anything you put out is immediately copyrighted. And especially if it's published, you've got logs and all kinds of tracking and all that stuff that kind of keeps that being protected. But it doesn't necessarily stop people from. It's like a locked door only keeps honest people honest. Yeah, people. Triumph says always work with your local vendor and register your designs and protect your artwork. Yeah, always work with local vendors is a great thing. Again, right now it comes down to the initial cost, and as soon as I can get something going with that, then I'll be off of Amazon. Dragon, awesome. I really want to go back. Oh, for the Acadia. Yeah, so Dragon said, tons of wildlife. My eagle picks suck, but while messing around on the rocks, I got a video of a small harbor seal going back out to sea. That's pretty cool. I didn't get to see any of that when I was up in Maine. I was always up there too late. Fishman is here. What's going on, man? Happy Trails Hiking. I have photography friends that have their photos stolen all the time. Yep. I've got, you've seen my friend April in some videos. She does a lot of photography. That's who I was doing the sunset pics with. She asked me if I wanted to go up there. She was doing some way fancier stuff with her cameras, and I was doing just kind of walk around snapping shots. But yeah, she's had photos stolen. She goes through she puts the watermarks and everything, but she's putting actual effort into those photos. Actually, I got something to talk about that too, but that's coming a little bit later. Triumph says you want to have a chance of going after anyone if you don't register your designs. They can use it freely without legal repercussions. They can use the design freely, but with my business logo in there, that is trademarked, and they cannot use that. I could actually sue them if I wanted to. Michael Fryer Jr. is here. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by. The Washington's Crossing, that looked pretty cool. I didn't realize they had just turned that into a state park. That's like the newest state park in Pennsylvania. That's pretty cool. I caught your stream late, and then I got knocked offline. I didn't get back on, but that looked really cool down there. Adam Z would love to get back to Acadia. Just hate the drive. It's only like 10 hours straight drive. That's it. No, it's 8 hours to Portland, 3 or 4 depending. So 11 or 12 hours. So it's a little bit of a drive. Hike with Mike. The only time I stole anything was for respect. Was my intro to my video. I always say, "Hey YouTubers, Hike with Mike here." Of course, I got that from the first channel I subbed. Intense Angler. Yeah, stuff like that is kind of hard. I've actually it gets difficult. There's a guy I follow on YouTube, Josh the Travel Guy. I don't know if any of you guys ever follow him or watch any of his videos. He's up in Canada, and at the end of his videos, I don't know if he's still doing it. I'm so far behind the videos. I know he's put up a few. At the end of his videos, he usually says, like, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, and he'll say, if you really like the video, hit the subscribe. And I had watched like 4 or 5 of his videos one day, and then the next day I was out recording, and I could not stop myself from saying that line at the end of the video. And I felt bad. I was like, I'm not trying to steal this from this guy, but it just keeps on coming out. That's things like that are kind of, there's only so many ways you can announce yourself and close a video. Triumph, I was speaking generally, but yeah, they can't use your trademarked logo. Yeah, they're just idiots. I'm guessing it's just a computer software that goes through and steals things, because it looks, a lot of their T-shirts that they have on their page are black with like white and like 2 color designs. And I'm thinking their computer system just goes through and it sees things that pop up and it finds ones that look close and just steals it. That's what I'm thinking. But I got the infringement case against them, and Amazon's not happy. So if they're not happy, I'm hoping something gets done. Dragon Rooms, the Dragon Be Rough made it longer by stopping, but it broke up the monotony. Yeah. When I went up there, we drove straight. Well, the last time I went up there, I drove straight up to Portland for 6 hours, but got there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Stayed in Portland for the day, and then took the 4-hour drive up. We went up along the coast. It was nice. Like, imitation is a form of respect. Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, it's I'm glad somebody likes the design enough to steal it, but I wish they didn't steal it. Or if they're gonna sell my design, I better get the money for it. Yeah, Adam ZA was Adam coming at you. That's how I always start. I'm gonna start doing that. Adam. I'm gonna instead of saying what's going on, and I don't know how I started doing that. It just now it seems like that's how I always start them. But maybe I'll start saying, "Hey, it's Kurt coming at you." I won't do that to you. Hike with Mike. Me and Campfire Steve actually do a few parodies of other channels where we got their permission for. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff is always cool. When me and Wood Pigeon, when he did the live stream like a month or 2 ago, I did the teaser video for it the day before. And I mean, I know that Yankees music is free use. It comes from a website that's free to use. But we wanted to make sure that he was okay with us using it. We weren't just going to rip him off. So we reached out to Yankee first, like, hey, look, this is Wood Pigeon has this idea of having his hat on with his back to the camera, silhouette it so it almost looks like it's you, or have your music playing. And if he was okay with that, if he said no, I don't feel comfortable with that, we wouldn't have done that. But yeah, I mean, parody and imitation as respect is one thing, but theft is something completely different. Triumph taglines are kind of gray area. Also matter of respect. If you're going to say, look at the goodness, you better be giving Bill Gowdy credit. Yeah, that kind of thing I absolutely agree with. I know there was that whole thing with the Canteen Cup Tuesday, and I think that was like I don't think anything was meant disrespectful in that. But yeah, as soon as that came out that there was an issue with that, we stopped doing it. I thought that everything was kosher with that, but again, mistakes happen. I get that, but just blatant theft. I mean, they're not Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. I am. Dragon left at 9, I think. Got to town 30 minutes from Cadillac Mountain around 11:30. Oh, from okay, yeah. Yankee loved it. Yeah, I'm glad he did. It was a lot of fun to do. Adam Z Panda, when you're talking about the Bear Bell, I was laughing because you use it, not the Starling one. I should have had one the night in Winterset. Bear Bells. I like seeing the bears. Let them come in. All right, so if you guys haven't watched, I got a chance today to spend a little time and watch a few videos. And one of the ones I watched was Happy Trails Hiking's video about the Arch, Gateway Arch National Park, right? The new national park. If you guys have not watched that, I highly suggest watching. That was an excellent video all the way around. From excellent video all the way around. The editing, the interviews, the cut shots, everything about that video was excellent. Happy Trails, you guys did a great job on that. And I hope you get a lot of recognition from that. It's very cool that you got a press pass to get in there on the opening day. And just excellent, good job. Again, guys, if you have not watched this video, go check it out. Shots from up in the arch, around the grounds, talk to some of the park employees. They've got shots of the actual ceremony, the ribbon cutting and all that inside the museum. Excellent. I was really, really impressed with that video. It was really, really good. So definitely, guys, go watch that. I'm actually going to pull up the link here, I think, if I can get to it, and then put it in there. But yeah, very cool. How long in advance did they let you know that you were going to be doing that? Because you put that together pretty well. I mean, I know I saw you posting a couple days before about it, but that was like a professionally done video. That could be on your local TV station. Clicking through, clicking through, clicking through. Here it is. And here's the link.
Hello, friends. Thanks for tuning in.
That's going to be loud. That's going to be loud. So this is the link I just put in, is for Happy Trails video for the Gateway Arches, or the Gateway Arch National Park. So definitely go check that out. You worked very hard on that. It was not, yeah, you know what, and it shows that you guys put a lot of effort into that. I know you guys do a lot of national park videos. I know you guys love the national parks, and it really came through in that video. So great job, and cheers on that one. That's better than anything I've ever put out by far better than any video I've ever put out. It was very well done. You guys should be proud of it. You were planning to go, but I found out on Friday that I got the press pass. The event was on Tuesday. Wow. So you put, so I'm guessing you were going to do a video, but you got more access than you thought you were going to get. So very well done. I went and did the pre-footage and B-roll a week in advance. Oh, well, see, that's, like I said, professionally done. That's what a lot of people do. They'll do either B-roll footage first and get all that, or they'll do it afterwards. What I tend to do is get the B-roll footage while hiking, so it doesn't turn out as well. But I don't do a whole lot of B-roll footage. Well, I guess I do. I do a lot of cut shots. But that was excellently done. It was a little weird not seeing your normal intro in that, though. All right, so the next thing that I got on here, Matt wasn't with me on Tuesday. Wanted him to be there in the video. You know, I noticed that, he kind of opens the video for you, and then you go up in the arch, and he's not with you. And I thought maybe he ran off and he was looking at something else, but he just wasn't there. Backcountry Adams here. What's going on, man? I don't know if I missed you. I was on a different tab looking at stuff. Looks like you just came in. So here's an interesting story that I read today. I'm gonna try to reiterate this as best as I can. So I'm not sure how many people know that spiders can fly, right? It's what they call ballooning. They let some silk strands come out. They thought catches the wind, and it drags them like a balloon. They call it ballooning. I read an article today that says that that's not actually how spiders fly. They actually use electricity. They can actually sense the electric fields in the Earth's atmosphere, and what they'll do is they'll get themselves out to the edge of a leaf or a piece of grass or a branch or something. They'll let those strands come up, and since they are on the ground or a leaf or a branch or something, and the Earth is negatively charged, the atmosphere is positively charged, it's actually the strands of silk actually pick up the negative charge, and if you ever try to put two same magnet poles together, they repel. That's how they launch, is by repelling the magnetic field of the Earth with their silk. And they've done this. They've tested it. They've actually done experiments with it where they've put spiders in enclosed areas with no airflow and gotten the the electric fields proper, the way that they need them, and they launch, they fly. They actually fly with electricity. It's insane. It's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like static energy, yeah. So it's like almost like magnets. They repel off the negative electrical current of the Earth, of the charge. How do spiders walk on water? They walk on water because they're so light they can't break the skin of the water. There's a retentive skin, so they can actually walk on water because they're not heavy enough to fall through that skin. Dragon says that makes me like spiders even more. I've only heard of the balloon theory. Yeah, I mean they knew, they've seen it. They've seen spiders with the strands up and flying, and they've just figured it acted like a sail because they're so light. But no, they found them so far away. They found spiders like 100, 200 miles out to sea. So the winds would change and shift and knock them around. No, they actually just fly right through. They use a little bit of air to help them move, but they actually stay suspended with electricity. Yeah, I had never heard of that before. I thought it was pretty cool. Every once in a while, I come across an interesting article, and I kind of like spiders. They're interesting. Don't like when I've gotten bit by a few, but spiders as an animal, as an organism, are fascinating in what they do. I would make their eyes glow when I go camping and shine my flashlight. I'm surrounded by, yeah, I've seen that before. It's a little creepy. Rocco, were you with me? We were up at Francis Slocum, and there was a spider like 30 feet out of camp, and I shined my light around, and you could see, it looked like glass. And I walked up to it, and it was a spider sitting there. That was crazy. Thumbs up. Yeah, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Habit Trails, I don't think they try that one. Their eyes glow like static energy. Spiders are so cool. It must be the lights. Their eyes. Yeah, so their eyes reflect. Which that's pretty cool too. But yeah, they fly with electricity. If I can find the link, I will put it up. Backcountry Adam, how has your hiking and camping season been going? I haven't been camping as much as I'd like. I've gotten a little bit of hiking in. I've been doing a lot of kayaking, really more working on trying to get a business up and running. But the times I've been out have been great. So getting out more than I did last year, which is always a positive, and I'm trying to get out and at least camp even as an overnight once a month at the very least. Have nothing planned. I didn't bother planning anything for this year as far as big trips, just because I knew with trying to start the business, I'd be kind of strapped for cash, and big trips would be out of the question. And that's been the case. So nothing big. When I can get out, it's kind of spur of the moment trips, and they're fun too. So the next thing that I want to mention, and this kind of goes back to the t-shirts and the steel and stuff. There is backcountry hammocks and outdoor gear. The company is Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. I got some t-shirts and stuff like that. Outdoors, yep. I'm gonna put the link in here. So that's my website. I make hammocks and outdoor gear. Triumph says a lot of people cooking out of Foster's beer pots lately. What they don't know is that when heated, the liners in those cans release toxins. Do not cook or eat out of beer cans, guys. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I saw Carolina Chris put up something on Instagram where he had like the little Foster's can. Yeah, the same thing is like if you're gonna, you see people cooking out of beer, like beans in a can. Yeah, the liner in there is really, really bad for you. Do not cook at it. Happy trails. Have to run. Sorry. Thank you for your kind words. No problem. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, and guys, definitely go check out their video on the arches. Yeah, the liners in the cans, and most cans are pretty bad. There are some that don't have liners, but you got to be careful with that. So the other thing I was today I got an email from a website called 500 Pics, which was like a photo sharing, almost like a social media website originally. It was almost like an Instagram years ago, and I had some photos on there, and they started the partnership with Getty Images. And Getty's been going through and looking at some of the photos they got on there. I got an email today that one of my photos got selected as stock file for Getty Images and is now available for purchase to businesses and stuff like that, which is absolutely insane. I had no idea that anything I took a picture of would be that good. But yeah, so now I've got actual stock footage of mine, photos of mine in Getty Images. I'm going to switch it over here to screen, and nope, not that one. There we go. So this photo right here, I pulled this off the phone from Getty. This is a picture I took at probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago. This is like this flower, but that got picked up by Getty Images. I don't ever expect anything to really happen with it, or to really have anything. Stop screen share. There we go. Or to have anything really, come of that. But it was pretty cool to have a photo selected for Getty Images. I had one years ago selected as the one of the default backgrounds for Ubuntu Linux. That was pretty cool. I was pretty happy with that. But yeah. So I'm almost like a professional photographer, I guess. I didn't think there's anything really all that special about that photo, but Getty seems to like it. Maybe because it's kind of generic. I don't know. But I don't know much about Getty Images. Hey, Parked America is here. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, I haven't gotten any money off it. I don't think I sold anything. And Getty's got probably billions of photos, so the chances of someone actually coming across that and buying it, probably pretty slim, but it's just kind of cool to know. Let's see, check it out, Backcountry. Yeah, Backcountry Adam, yeah, the video they did of the new Gateway Arch National Park. Is actually, it's really cool. Makes me want to go there. So let's see. Did I miss any? No, that's all about the spiders. So what's everybody got planned for this coming weekend? Rocco, are you still on? You doing anything this weekend? You going anywhere? I know you got some time off, and if you're gonna go do something, I gotta make some food to take. Backcountry, yes, I am in PA, in a little town called Oliphant, which is up near Scranton. Working this weekend. That does suck, Adam. And you guys are still doing the AT portion down in Wind Gap the week after? Back Adam, you got to work too. The Adams are both working. Well, actually, I think this weekend's going to be pretty nice, too. I think. Let's take a look. Let's... so far, so good. Backcountry's in Southwest PA. Very cool. I have the furthest southwest I've been would be like Indiana, Pennsylvania. My brother lives out there. But I haven't gotten to really go to any of the parks or any of the areas down there to do any kind of hiking or backpacking. But some of the places I've seen down there look pretty cool. Dragon's putting a new roof on her parents' house. Small section on the bike. Oh, that sounds like fun. Park America will be working, so not good. Also, just got back from 3 days of camping at Shabona Lake State Forest, Northern Illinois. I haven't heard of Shabona Lake. Forest and Streams, can't Saturday or Sunday, but Monday to Thursday possibly. All right, let me know. Adam Z looking to get the new camper out sometime, hopefully soon. Very cool. Oh yeah, because your other one had a tree fall on it, right? That sucked. So you got it replaced. Dragon still good for AT section plan. I'm doing it rain or shine. Joe Harton. Hey, if I sneeze, I apologize. There's the people living behind me are having a barbecue and smoke keeps wafting into my house. Joe Harton's going car camping with a friend. Maybe do some paddling. Very cool. Car camping. And so paddling, are you doing kayak or are you doing canoe? Or stand-up paddleboard? So tomorrow I've got, I usually do a video on Friday. With the heat this week, I really didn't go out and do a whole lot. It's been atrociously hot here since like Friday, like last Friday, Saturday. It started hitting like the 90s and it was 97, 98. Felt like 105 to 110. So I did some, it's almost just, it's only like a 3.5 minute video. And I just did some 4K footage, and it's down res to 1080, but just along the river. So it's gonna be something a little different. No talking, not a whole lot of anything. Just some nice scenes along the river and some wildlife. That's all. So that'll be up tomorrow. Other than that, my video pool is getting low. Triumph still printing, but I'm listening. Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, so looks like we're gonna have rain tomorrow, hopefully cooler, and then it's gonna be pretty nice the rest of the weekend, and looks like into next week. Still 85 right now. Yeah, it's rain tomorrow, and then in the 70s. Oh, 78. So looks like this heat wave we've had is finally breaking. Thankfully, it's been rough. Adam Z's been working on my cruise video, trying to get that out by this weekend. Very cool. That's going to be pretty neat. So that was like a big, like full-size, legit cruise ship with like multi-decks and swimming pools and all that kinds of stuff. Joe Harton's taking my canoe and kayak. My friend can paddle whichever she wants. Very cool. Oh, so you got both? Yeah, I've only got a kayak, which I can do camping out of. That's not a problem. But if I got to do anything that's got portages or anything like that, kayak's not fun to do that with. It can be done, but it kind of sucks. Dragon Roams, hoping to mix next week with paddling and mountain biking. Well, you can carry your sup on your back with your bike. When I lived down in Florida, I lived so close to the Halifax River that I just made a PVC cart with a long kind of like trailer hitch that I hooked to the back of my bike, and I'd throw the kayak on the cart and I'd bike down to the river. So I didn't have to take my car to go kayaking. Adam Z says the biggest ship in the Canaveral fleet right now. That's pretty cool. That's got to be pretty big. Never been on a cruise. I've been on a casino cruise, but those are much smaller boats. And they only go like out in the international waters. They go like 3 or 4 miles out and then turn and they come back. But that was kind of fun. Never been on a big cruise though. Joe, what kind of canoe and what kind of kayak do you have? I don't know. I may have asked you that last week. So the biggest ship in the Canaveral fleet, Triumph. Been missing my canoe so much that I've been looking for another 16-foot wide bottom aluminum. That's a big boat. They've got like 16-foot fiberglass up at our local, was it Dick's Sporting Goods, and what's that a part of now? Dick's and the other one. Can't remember. I've only been there once. Field and Stream. That's what it's called. That thing looks heavy. That's a monster. Aluminum's probably a little bit lighter. I don't know what they're cooking, but it smells good. It smells like burgers and hot dogs. Joe Harton's got a Liquid Logic XP10 kayak, good for whitewater, flat water, and camping. Canoe is an Old Town Guide 119, so that's a big one. Old Town Guides, my first kayak was in Old Town. They make pretty good boats. And a Liquid Logic, I've heard of them, but off the top of my head, I can't picture it. So XP10, I'm guessing that's a 10-foot kayak. Triumph says a canoe is so stable and you miss it. Yeah, something that big. That's going to be, you can stand up and fish out of that thing, especially flat bottom. That's a big boat. That's kind of like what you'd see like when you're a kid and you're at camp. They have like those big honking canoes. Liquid Logic. I'm going to look that up. Let's go to the computer. Let's go to the browser. Let's look up Liquid Logic. So go to images. Oh, that's kind of cool. Actually, now that I've seen that, I've seen those before. Oh, that is. That's like a very good cross between like a whitewater and a recreational. That's a cool boat. I like that. But that thing turns on a dime too. Let's see. Adam Z says, recreate the movie without the paddle. Well, without paddle. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. That was actually kind of funny. Dragon says, my buddy has a Liquid Logic. It's nice, but basic rec one can't see camping with it. Well, you gotta picture. You gotta put smaller stuff. It's like backpacking. You don't throw everything in there. Joe Harton, canoe is 11'9", one-person kayak, has a skeg for flat water. Also 11'9". All right, so that's not that big. My kayak's a 12-foot. I don't know why I thought 119 would be a bigger boat, but it makes sense. It's 11'9", which is weird. I don't know why boat manufacturers do that. Like my kayak's a 12-foot, so it's a 120. Adam Z, do your legs get real hot when you're paddling in the sun with your legs inside the kayak? With my kayak, no. And the cockpit of mine's a little bit bigger than that Liquid Logic, but I guess it depends on how warm the water is. If it's really hot out, I can kick my legs out of mine. I don't know about the Liquid Logic. It might not be stable enough to throw your legs out and get that top heavy. But a lot of times you start feeling it stays cool because the water's pulling the heat out of the boat. It's a little science lesson for you. Water pulls the heat out. Well, it doesn't pull it, but draws it out. So, Adam, who was in without a paddle? I know what's his name? God, I can't think of his name. Seth Green was in it, right? You seem to be the movie buff. Oh. Actually, where did I put my water? I lost my water. Yes, good to know it's conduction. For the most part, it does actually work against you, though, in the winter because the boat will get very, very cold. So in the winter, as long as the water's not frozen, I'll throw my spray skirt on, and I'll wear a wetsuit, and that keeps me pretty warm. Dax Shepard, Dax Shepard, Seth Green, and a bunch of other people. Joe Harton, Old Town makes several models in different lengths. For instance, the guide model comes in a 16-foot size. Way of Life Outdoors and Survival's here. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Old Town makes a bunch of stuff. They make a bunch of stuff. I think last week I was talking about the my Old Town. I was following their Facebook page, and we're talking. I was still down in Florida, so probably 8 or 9 years ago, and they wanted photos from people's kayaking adventures, showing their Old Town kayak in the picture and like where they were, and they were gonna pick like the top three, and then give give those three people this history of Old Town canoes book. So I submitted one of my photos, and they got thousands of submissions, thousands of them. And the day came where like, oh, we're gonna pick the three, and they're just like, oh, you know what? We're sending everybody a book. So they sent out like 1,500 of these books to people. They're like, we like everybody's photos, send everybody a book. So I got this really cool book about the history of Old Town. And when I was up in Maine, I kind of wanted to stop by and go to Old Town and check out their shop up there, but I never got a chance to go by. Dragons says, I watched a guy do a loadout for an overnight on a paddleboard. I'd totally do that. Just saying, looking at you local guys. Yeah, I've loaded up my my current designs kayak, my current one, to camp, and my Dorigo that I had down in Florida, my Old Town. That thing was tiny compared to what I got now, so I can load up. So let's go. Let's find a spot. Kayak camping, water camping, boat camping, whatever, paddleboard, whatever you're doing, it's fun. Backcountry Adam, your prices rock. What's the weight on a Coyote pack and netted? The weight of the hammock itself, or the weight limit? The hammock itself is 2.5 pounds, right? That's the 11 foot. So I think that's 2.5 pounds off the top of my head. And then the weight limit on it with the fabric I'm using by default is 300 pounds. But if you need something more than that, I am making one for someone else, actually Lone Woodsman, that he wanted it double fabric, and doing that one custom for him, and that's going to hold like up to 550 pounds. So Way Life Outdoors just wanted to stop by and show some support. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Adam Z, I'm game for a river trip down to Delaware. Have campsites all along. Actually, got to double check that, because they used to have campsites all along the Delaware. And then about 5 years ago, the National Park Service and the public landowners along the river got into a dispute, and now there's only certain places you can camp. Unless that has changed again. You used to be able to just pull up, and as long as you were by the shore, you'd be okay. But anymore, if that happens, you can actually be arrested. The weight of the hammock itself. Yeah, so backcountry on that, it's about 2.5 pounds, depending on what gets added to it, if you want anything special. Hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Triumph. Yeah, let's see, we got, I can't see thumbs up on this one. Looks like we got 10 viewers. Someone just came in. Backcountry Adam, I'm a little guy, only weigh 160 pounds. Oh yeah, so I could actually probably do ultralight. Adam, that's my email address. Shoot me an email if you're looking for something. I can get you some prices, and maybe if you need something lighter, I can do a lighter material. What I have up there is basically the default, but if you need something custom, I can do that for you. Joe Harton, I can get everything that fits in my 60-liter backpack and the Apex and the XP10 plus gear on the deck. Yeah, I can get. Yeah, I mean, my backpack now, I got it down with the hammock and all that stuff. I could probably pack 2 people's worth of stuff in my kayak. It's a 12-foot kayak, so it's got a lot of room. When I went to the Allegheny last year, I took extra stuff, but I fit everything in there, no problem. I just put everything right on the front deck. I had 3, like, what are they, 15-liter, 10 or 15-liter, like ruggedized dry sacks. And I just stuffed everything in those, put it on top, and took off. I could throw stuff in the back, all kinds of room. Adam Z says, with all this hot weather we've been having, I'm actually looking forward to some winter camping. I was thinking that myself. I actually, it was so hot the other day. I actually pulled up one of my videos from Pinchot in the winter just to see snow. It was so freaking hot. Adam, okay, I'm taking my pack weight down currently, 11.3 pound base weight. Very cool. That's pretty light. Yeah, I don't usually check my base weight. I'm not really that big of a what they call them, gram weenies. Like, I don't pay that much attention to it. My overall weight is what I kind of look at. And my last trip, I was down to like 20 pounds with everything. I was with my water, with my camera gear, with food, clothes, the whole 9 yards. Hey, Burnwood Bushcrafts here. What's going on, Ryan? Thanks for stopping by. I'm guessing you just got home from work. Dragon, when I think of backpacking, when I think of my backpacking today while paddling, I was like, I can get that on here. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, with your backpack, yeah, you could probably fit. I mean, how big is that paddleboard? That's got to be pretty wide. Hike with Mike. It's been so rainy in Florida, it's even too swampy for me to hike in. You guys getting a lot of rain. We got nothing last week. We got a little rain yesterday, maybe a little tiny bit today. Looks like it's cleared off now. I know there's rain in the area, but we haven't been getting hit. We could use a few days of rain. You've been running errands with the wifey. See, around here, this would be about the time to get done with cable. Adam Z, haven't even used my 4-degree quilt set yet. You haven't? You haven't really gotten out to do any backpacking, have you? Dragon, usually look over all the weight. I know when I'm really camping. Yeah, I go to buy the overall, and I don't mind carrying extra stuff. If I'm gonna be, depends on what I'm doing. In the winter, I'll carry more. Obviously, just because I want to have a saw and an axe, because firewood's important, and I'll carry the extra quilts, and I'll just make sure I'm overly prepared in the winter, because if you get in trouble in the winter, you're really in trouble. In the summer, I go down to bare basics. Hike with Mike. Have you ever thought of making a serious hammock with a wool liner? With a wool liner, no. I wouldn't want to pack that thing down. Wool does not compress. A winter hammock with wool. Yeah, no. That would be so heavy. It's I don't think I'd ever be interested in doing something like that. I'd go down. But wool, let's put it this way. I've been in, what was that we were in there, Adam, when we were over at the Loyal Sock, when you mean Dragon were out there. I think it got down to 15 degrees, they said. And I was fine. And in my winter setup, I could probably go another five, maybe 10 degrees colder than that before I really got too cold. That's me. I'm a warm sleeper. I don't mind sleeping in the winter outdoors, but I couldn't imagine adding wool onto that. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but holy crap. Triumph, you're gonna be smoothing it at base camp this weekend, Burnwood. Adam Z, that's what's nice about my Granite Gear pack. Light enough for summer, but big enough for winter loadout. Yeah. Adam Z, I think 18. Oh, yeah. I know the guy that came by said it was 15 at his house. I don't know what it was by us, but it was cold. It definitely was colder than it was supposed to be. And I've been out a couple times where it got down to like 12 or 15, and it wasn't that bad. I guess it depends. Like, I don't mind the heat. I mean, I lived in Florida for 6 years. I don't mind heat. I don't mind cold. You just got to be prepared for whatever you get. Adam Z's Bonefire Gear makes a hammock with integrated underquilt. Yeah, there's another guy that does that too. I don't think it's Bonefire. I've seen a couple where they've got integrated quilts, which is nice if you want a separate quilt just for winter. It would be interesting, I guess. But I mean, you're not using that for the summer unless it's a really light quilt that's built into it, and then you still got to take a quilt for winter. Dragon Rome's 12 and a half feet long, 32 inches. Oh, so that's bigger than my kayak. That's like a half a foot longer than my kayak, and well, maybe just narrower. My kayak, I think, kayak's either 31 or 33. So it's right about the same. That's pretty good size and inflatable. So that's pretty cool. Adam Z, my nose hairs are freezing. Yeah, it was chilly. Oh, we were right on the water too. So hype with Mike. Good thing about the heat is you can carry a lot less gear. Yep. Whale Life Survival just wanted to stop by and show some support. Thanks for sharing. Good night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Whale Life. I appreciate you coming here. You have a good night, and I hope you had a good 4th of July too. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, being in the heat, you can carry less. I even take less water in the winter. Well, actually, in the winter, I guess it depends on the snow. But a filter doesn't do well in the cold. It can freeze, and it depending on what kind of setup you got for water nearby. Sometimes it's not even worth trying to get down to the water if you got ice and you don't want to go through. So that's when I'll usually shorten my trips and just carry in all my water. And water's heavy. That's where a lot of my weight comes from in the winter. Bernwood says, don't like the heat, ready for the cold. I think you live in the wrong part of the country, man. I mean, you're down in the south. It's going to be hot. What was your highs down there this week? We were up in the night. Oh, what's today? Thursday. Yeah. So yeah, like Sunday, Monday, I think it was like in the high 90s. Hike with Mike's. Most of my weight in the heat is water. Yeah, you don't carry any kind of filtration or drops or anything like that. I'll carry usually like my Nalgene in the winter. Or in the summer, I'll carry my Nalgene full of water, and then my filter. And depending on the situation, last time I was out at Pinchot, my filter will filter out things like Giardia. And I know there's beavers in the water where I was, but so I still, just to be safe, I filtered the water in my Sawyer. I boiled it in my canteen cup, and then I either use that for food, like for dinner, I just used up boiled water, or for drinking water, I then took the canteen cup, let it cool down. Actually, went to the creek and put it in the creek and let it cool down without any dirty water getting in there, and then put that in my Nalgene, which has Life Straw in it. So it was filtered, boiled, and filtered for my drinking water. So just to be on the safe side. Mid to upper 90s. Yeah, so you guys, we had probably the same weather you had. Adam Z, how do you feel about UV water purifiers? I think there are too many variables with them to be totally trusty. The Steripens. I've seen them. What's the video I just watched recently where Syntax 77. He just did a video where he uses the Steripen. And I mean, it's like a pen. And you just put it in the water and you just kind of stir it around. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's effective, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I'd have to look into them more. It just seems like they wouldn't kill everything, right? It's just like a UV light. And how strong can that thing be? I don't know. I'd be really, really cautious of this. Mike says, depends on where I go. Some hikes are in the pine sandhills and not a lot of water. So yeah, if you know you're going somewhere where there's not a lot of water, then yeah, you got to carry it in. Scrub areas are like deserts. Yeah, oh, trust me, I know. When I lived down there, you get to some areas where there's not much water at all. And even if there is water, it may not be the easiest stuff to get to. Burnwood, I saw the mini Sawyer at Walmart. Is it worth $20? Absolutely. Actually, if you're going to spend $20, you might as well go for like the extra 5 or 10 for whatever the full-sized Sawyer is. That's if you get better water flow out of it, and it lasts just as long, and it's not that much bigger. It's really not. But either way, I've got a mini and I've got the 0.1, like the full-size one, and they work great. Some places you're forced to haul more, yeah. Especially, well, for me, if you know the area, like you go in a Pinchot or something like that, you know you're going along a creek, you know you got water. But when you get into the Catskills or along the AT, there's some spots where you don't know. There should be water sources, but I've been up in the Catskills doing hikes, overnights especially, and gone to where there's supposed to be a spring, and it's no longer there. So you fill up when you see water. Triumph says I'm leaning toward those filtered water bottles, easy direct filtration. Yeah, the one I've been using the past couple of trips, the Life Straw, it goes right into the Nalgene, which is nice. The only problem with that is great for drinking, but you can't like tip the bottle over and filter water out of it. It's not designed for that. So for just drinking, they work great. And I get some of them, like the Katatin Be-Free system. It's in like the squeezable bag. You could squeeze those, but that's not exactly what they're meant for. So what I carry is I carry two filters, and I got my Sawyer and I got that Life Straw. So the Life Straw is great for when you're hiking. You just go up to a waterfall or wherever, you put it in there. You know, the Nalgene, you put this filter with the lid back on there, and you're good. You don't have to worry about stopping and filtering the water. But then once I start getting closer to camp, if I don't think there's going to be water there, then I'll fill up the Sawyer squeeze bag, and I'll keep that, and then I can filter for cooking later. Dragon Rooms, Burnwood, I have a Mini, and Panda has a squeeze. Both are good, but if you're filtering a lot, the squeeze is probably better. Yeah, I agree. Triumph, I have the Sawyer Mini. Slow to fill, but it works. Yeah, they are slower, and honestly, they're not that much smaller. I got mine. Oh, never mind. It's not where I thought it was. So it's not that much smaller than the full size Sawyer squeeze, and the Sawyer squeeze is much faster. Adam Z, I'm replacing my Sawyer every year, $20 or $30 insurance. I've had the same one I've had my Mini for 3 years, and my Sawyer full size one for 2 seasons now. I just make sure it doesn't freeze, and I backwash it. And then when I put it away, I fill up the bag with fill it up with water. I put 1 cap full of bleach in there. I let that sit for a couple minutes, and then I run some of that diluted bleach water through the filter, and then I backwash it again, and it seems to do pretty good. You always want to make sure though that once you let it sit for a while and you're going to take it out, you want to make sure that you run it at home first. Because when I went up to the Catskills back in February. That first 3-day trip I went up there, and I got to camp, and I was just beat up, and I was just ready to like make some food, and I went to filter water, and the filter is so dry. It took overnight for the water to sit in there in my pocket for it to absorb enough that I could use it. I thought I was out of luck with my filter. Adam Z, when I did my AT section hike, the springs were dried up and one was muddy. Yeah, when we did the Quijana Trail, a lot of the water was dried up, and the water we did find was a little sketchy. But the filter, we used our filters and we boiled the water, we were fine. Adams, the transfer they are, but when I let it sit for a few months without being used, I get concerned about the filter breaking down. I don't think the filter will break down. It just gets it gets overly dry, and you got to let it sit for a little bit with some water in there. Dragon, I use the Life Straw filter today. My cat had dirty water coming through the air hole. Thankfully, it was pre-filled with clean water from home. Really? Ooh. There might be something wrong with that. Would you use it in the Nalgene? Because I haven't had water come back through the air hole. I mean, there might be something wrong with that one. Triumph says, I bought 3 extra bags to help with processing. Yeah. I haven't done it. Dragon, I think you said you've done it, right? You've used your Sawyer in like a gravity setup, and that you just hang up and you let it filter and let it take its time, and it works fine. But Adam Z, I got concerned when I did my Harriman trip. I was squeezing and nothing was coming out, and it seemed like it popped and started flowing. Oh, that would get, yeah. If it popped, then I'd get concerned. That's similar to what happened to me up in the Catskills. It wasn't flowing through, and I just stopped. I let the water that was in there sit, and then I took the lid off, like the top of it, and I tried to like blow through both directions, just try to help the water loosen up. And by the morning, because I let it sit in my pocket overnight, a little damp, I put it in the Ziploc bag in my pocket, and then it stayed warm because it was winter. But then the next morning, I was able to get water through it. So I think they just get overly dry, and you got to let them ease back into it. Dragon says I recently got a G-Knock bag. Should be easier to fill. So let the testing begin. Yeah, new stuff is always good. Good to test. The Nalgene. Yeah. See, I have not a problem with that Life Straw. I mean, it came in the carrying package, so I guess you never know. But so far, fingers crossed, I haven't gotten sick with it. So I used that solely for my drinking water when we did the Catskills last time, and I had no issues. Joe Harton, been using the Kadatin Hiker Pro for years, no problems ever, but a little heavy. Have a new story, or haven't got to use it yet. I'm not familiar with the Kadatin Hiker Pro. I know their B-free system, but I don't think that's similar. Dragon used the gravity filter setup on the West Rim last year. Yeah, so yeah, you just punch holes in the back and you hang it and you got some tubing, right? That's all you got. Hike with Mike, always carry a medicine dropper bottle with bleach as a backup system if something goes wrong. Yeah, I carry, like I said, like a little bottle of it's probably a similar thing. It's like aqua mirror, I think. Just water drops. You gotta let it sit for a while in the water, but it's like my last ditch emergency. So I try not to use that if I don't have to. I would have used it around here. Pretty much as long as you boil the water, you're fine. But it's one of those things we're better safe than sorry, especially if you're way out in the woods. If you're like a mile or two, and if you're doing a short hike and you're a couple miles from the car, no big deal. If you start not feeling good, yeah, you're still going to suck it back to the car, but it's better than being 8, 10, 12 miles out away from your vehicle and then getting stuck out there. That would really suck. Burnwood asks, G-Knock is what Robinette uses. Adam Z, did you review your Cairn subscription? Dragon does. I do not. Hike with Mike, I've heard a lot of good things about the Kadatin by others. I'd like to get one eventually. I've heard good things about them too. I've heard they're a little weird to get used to. Some people said they clog easy because I don't think the filter is real big, but that's just a matter of knowing how to keep your stuff clean. All right, that's with anything. I carry a bleach and eye dropper also, 2 drops per liter. That will work. Burnwood, thanks, Triumph. Triumph, 1 hour in. Very cool. Thank you. Burnwood, Dragon says Burnwood, it had issues when it was first released, but the company stepped up and improved the design, and I was pretty highly recommended. So that must be what the issue was. People were saying that was getting clogged up. But yeah, they seem like I've heard good things about it. I see a lot of people use them online. I've got the Sawyer. I got 2 Sawyers, and I've got the Life Straw, and I've got this weird thing. Looks like a bicycle pump I got in one of my Cairn packages, like a long filter. So I've got like 4 filters right now. So I'm really in no rush to replace any of them. Dragon says, the Catskills trip, I figured it would be perfect for the boat. It was the first trip with me using it. I thought about carrying that with me in the kayak. I've seen people do that where they'll just carry their a water filter with them and they'll just scoop water up out of the lake. I thought about doing that. I wonder why yours leaked though. Maybe from the heat. I think maybe the bottle got so warm that it's actually pushing water back up. That's weird. But yeah, I don't know why that would happen. I mean, does yours make the same like bird chirping noise that mine makes? Tribe's getting thirsty. Talk about all this water filtration. Me too, and I can't figure out what I do with my water. There we go. Found my water. Dragon, Adam, I'm ending my subscription at the 2-year mark. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm doing the same thing. The last 3 or 4 months have just been garbage with Karen. I don't understand. It was so good. I mean, I get they you run out of things to give out. But the price now, it's like $30 a month, and I don't think that what we're getting in that box is worth $30 anymore. It used to be like $22 a month, and you're getting like $40, $50 worth of stuff in there. It's just been, Adam Z, was Lackawanna still chocolate milk color today? When I was out there Saturday, it was. That's funny. I was out there on Sunday, and it looked like, I remember thinking it was like paddling in Willy Wonka's chocolate river. Dragon says it didn't make that noise. It was hard to draw water. Maybe there's something wrong with yours. Because mine, like I was like tipping mine up, like drinking like this. After a while, I realized that if I just held it down, I used it like a straw. It's a light straw. It worked just as well. And it didn't make that noise. But the only time I had a hard time with mine was when the water got down too low. If I remember that, I was trying to figure out why it wasn't working. But yeah, that's weird. You might have a defective one. Still milk colored. Yeah, that's weird, man. That lake, it's a nice lake, but it got. When I was out there in like March, no, it couldn't have been March. Maybe April when I went out there the first time. It was that color. It was just brown. It might have some weird growth in there. You get up past the Bull's Head. Bull's Head Bay section back up into the Tunkhannock Creek, and it's nice and clear and cool up there. But down in the lake itself, it's just seems like it's clean. It's just brown. That's fun. And the funny thing is that that's the same lake that I got the sunrise or sunset pictures from, and it looked beautiful. Adam Z, I took my dogs up there to walk and swim. Once I saw that, I wouldn't let them in. Didn't want to have to give them a bath. Yeah, you definitely have to give them a bath. Yeah, a lot of times when it's really warm, I'll sit with my feet up and out of the cockpit and let my feet like dangle in the water. I would only do that up by the creek where it was clearer and cooler. In the lake itself, I had my feet up for a little bit, but I would not put them in the water. When we were at Boschikill the day before that, up in New York, that was crystal clear, that water. That was gorgeous up there. Dragon says it didn't color me or the boat. That would suck, right? Imagine getting out of the water and you're brown. And it's all stuck to the bottom. I've gotten pollen on my boat come out of the water yellow. Oh. That Urban Vikings here. What's going on, man? How was the Boschikill? Thinking of kayaking there. Boschikill was awesome. If you haven't had a chance, I just put a video up under the kayaking playlist. Monday that went up. Gorgeous there. There wasn't a lot of wildlife because it was really warm. I was on Saturday, so it was that first day where we had that heat. But beautiful area. It's like a river paddle. When you look at your normal view in Google Maps, like the map view, it looks like it's a big lake, but it's really just a river, pretty much. But yeah, if you have a chance to go there, I definitely go. You're only getting in there with a kayak or a paddleboard or a canoe or something like that. No power boats or anything. Dragon, I've mountain biked and hiked there. Have you ever checked out? Oh, Merle Snarsky. Yeah, I've been to Merle a few times. I kayaked there once last year. I was at Prompton, and I paddled around. I got caught in it. It just started pouring. It was crazy. So I paddled back. I got to the car, got everything loaded up, started heading home, and it cleared up and the sun came out. So I was like, I don't want to go home yet. So I went to Merle and I kayaked there. It took me like 10 minutes to paddle around that place. But there was like a polka band playing over on the one side. So I was listening to polka music and paddling around. It's a neat little park. It's old, but it's kind of cool. It's got some decent trails. They're not well marked, but it's nice. Adams, he said it's a crystal clear cold water lake. Yeah, it is a nice little lake. It's small, but it's nice. Triumph says, help me make up my mind. Chicken or pork chops on the grill tonight? Well, I would say pork chops. That would be me. But chicken, I guess it depends on how you're making it. I'd say pork chops. Adam Z said it used to be the happening place. Yeah, you can tell the way they got the place set up. I mean, it looks like it was designed by the architecture class in high school, like the buildings. But it's a nice place, and there's like 1 billion picnic tables there. Adams, he said he used to have trolley rides and everything when I was a kid. Really? Wow. Trolley rides, like what kind of trolleys? They had a trolley system there, or just like pulled by goat trolley? Like I don't remember seeing any trolley lines there. It's a cool little park though. They pull trolleys with goats? Goat trolley? Goat trolley. I think I see a new shirt coming. Goat trolley. The Urban Viking, don't miss out on the Whites this season. I'm heading up twice. Had to cancel a few weeks ago due to weather, going July and August. Yeah, the Whites is somewhere I really want to get to. Right now, the way things stand, I'm like in low spending mode, trying to start a business and everything. So I don't really have the funds to take a trip up to the Whites, unfortunately, unless someone wants to let me like sneak in the back of their car. But yeah, I'd love to get up there. The trolley, like the trolleys they have on the boardwalk at the beach. The trolleys on the beach, on the boardwalk. I'm trying to remember what they were like little bus trolleys. Trying screen printing. I was leaning towards the chops too, maybe with my Carolina style vinegar sauce. There you go. Adam Z, if you follow the paid trails, you can tell where they used to turn and go. Huh. That's pretty. I mean, I've been in there. I never really noticed that. I'll have to look. I know they got the mounted police barracks in there, which is weird. Watch the tram card, please. The Wildwood tram. Wow. That just brought back memories. The Wildwood tram. Well, let's see. We're going on 20 after. 20 after. Been on for an hour and 20 minutes. And this doesn't seem like it has frozen at all. So I'm guessing no buffering and nothing like that. I'm guessing those issues are all with that software I was using. I got to figure that out. Dragon, Urban Viking, you go there once and you'll never forget that recording. Yeah, the Wildwood tram. Adam Z says it's because that's where juvies go for community service. For the Merle Snosky, is that where they go? They clean the horse pens? Yeah, clean the stalls. Dragon Roams read that in the voice. I guess that makes sense. I mean, I grew up around farms. When you're a kid, you don't want to clean the horse stalls. Adams East is buffered for you once. It's still better than it was. Once for a second, but that might have been on my end. But yeah, great solid connection. Yeah. So it must be that software version because I'm wireless this week. Last week I was hardwired right to the back of the modem in the other room, and it froze up completely. So all right, well, it is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up since it's now 20 after 9. And I'm going to go get myself another beer and relax a little bit. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by. It was a good, fun live stream. Definitely go check out Happy Trails video on the Gateway Arch. You're really going to enjoy that. And you go to Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. Check out the shirts. Buy a hammock. Plug. I got this thing. Anybody want a lemon or a... what do they call it? Coyote? No, olive yellow. This is a whole kit. That's the hammock right there. This is the only one I've got in stock right now. It's got the hammock. It's got the 12 by 9 tarp, bug net, suspension, whole 9 yards. It's over at Hemlock Mountain Outdoors. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next.